Hey everybody, and yay, we're back and we're back together. Welcome to From
It's
My
a
Mother's
miracle.
Basement.
I have escaped. I was kidnapped. I was captured, but I fought my way to you because I needed to be back. Oh man, life has been bizarre. Welcome to the
100.
official episode 100, which is not going to be nearly as cool as we wanted it to be. Between me working way up north, you having surgery, and then last week was C4, which we will talk about in a little bit. Yeah, we can't put this crap off anymore. We need to keep going. So
Exactly.
you're not going to get all the fancy new openers yet. Sorry, we are still working on those. So bear with us. I know we asked for a lot of forbearance from you guys, and we appreciate it. Still need more viewers though, so we got to work on that.
Yeah, sure.
But we're back.
Yay! It is good
And-
times.
Yeah, did you get your iPhone 6 yet?
Like I have money for that.
Stephen Colbert got his a day early.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. No, yeah, I looked at all that news about the iPhone 6. We talked a little bit about it last night, and I know I will get one. It's probably not going to be until probably early next year after my tax return.
I know a lot of people are going to give me shit over this, but when I switched back to Android, what was the primary reason I left my iPhone?
Big
Do you
screen.
remember?
You need a bigger screen, bigger real estate, right?
Bigger screen and bigger buttons for the typing.
And
Apple addressed that.
in a big way, yeah.
It's
Come on, 5.5 inch is a huge screen for a phone nowadays.
yeah, you're way overdriving again, by the way. You might want to crank yourself down a little bit more. Yeah, no, it's at 5.5 is well, that's mine's a 5.75, I think. So
Right.
it's technically a tiny small step down, but a quarter inch. Oh my God, break my heart. You know? But yeah, no, I will be getting an iPhone 6 Plus at some point. It's not. It's going to be at least a couple months probably.
True.
And I'll trade in my Sony for that. Not that I don't love my Sony. I do love my Sony, but I honestly, having gone back to Android for a little bit now,
You miss the ecosystem, don't you?
I do miss the ecosystem. I miss the stability.
See, that's why I look at. There's really no middle ground between the two system environments, because when you have iOS, it's an incredibly closed environment. You really have very few, if any, external input into that ecosystem. If you're within it,
Without hacking it or rooting it.
right, and then if you're in it, it works freaking brilliantly. You can swap between programs, swap between devices, no problem whatsoever. And then you go to Android, and it's so-called open source. But the problem is there are so many forked versions of the OS itself. Not to mention all the bloatware every single carrier.
That's the big problem. The core OS is actually pretty spiffy, but it's the things, like Samsung has to throw their crap on top of it. Sony throws theirs on top of it. Not that the only way you're going to get a true KitKat or Android experience is if you buy a Nexus,
Yes.
because it's straight from Google. Otherwise, you're going to get a whole bunch of add-on crap. But then at the same time, I actually saw. Why am I not surprised you have an Elsa cup? Why am I not surprised?
Hey, it was part of my birthday present. So was this, because we went to Disneyland today.
Well, you know me. It's all about the Sith. Got to live up to my rep. But anyway, there's the Windows OS. I actually got to play with one while I was at C4 because one of the guys was working the booth with us, guy named Fusion. He's got a Windows phone. Yeah, I don't need Windows 8 in the palm of my hand. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much
That's
what a lot of people say.
I don't like that. I'm not impressed with it. But there was some it had some cool apps on it, but by and large, yeah, no, I'm not going to be going to Windows OS for a phone at any point.
I mean, there's tons of others out there. Like there's, I know Mozilla has their own open source phone out there. There's numerous open source Linux phones out there, but
yeah, but those are actually a fairly hard find. You're not going to find any on an actual major provider.
No, you're really not. You're really gonna have to find like probably a GSM carrier, grab a SIM card from that, and hope it works with that phone.
And that's the big deal, is finding a phone that'll do that. But the iPhone 6 with iOS 8, there's a lot of cool stuff that's involved in it. Now, the big talk, though, wasn't so much. I mean, yeah, the big screen phone was a big freaking deal,
Mm-hmm.
but what stole the show was that watch.
Oh yes,
I mean, that watch
sexy
is.
watch.
I'm impressed. I am actually very, very impressed with how they did it. I mean, I thought it was going to be really. Prior to this, the only Bluetooth watch I was really looking at and kind of impressed by was Samsung's,
Uh huh.
which was which was a kick-ass watch. But I have to give Apple credit for everything they did on this. They they did it. It restores a little bit more of my faith in the Apple design team, which was starting. I was beginning to think the Oompa Loompas had lost it with Charlie or with Willie gone. And maybe the new guy's their version of Charlie. I don't know, but
who knows? But I really liked it. I would like to get one with my tax return, which I'm sure that was probably Apple's idea. Like, let's announce this right now along with the phone, and then make sure that people get their tax returns so they can use that and we can get that money.
yeah, that's not till your tax return's not till March.
And they said early, 2015. So I'm guessing February, March.
Oh, you're talking about the watch. I'm
Yeah, the
sorry.
watch
I thought
itself.
we're back on the phone.
No,
My bad.
you buy the phone before Christmas. You get
Yeah,
that crew, and then you get after tax day. You get your
Oh,
refund.
after tax day, you go get the watch. Yeah, I could see it.
I'll do
I
it.
could see it. Well, and and T-Mobile, my carrier's got them, so they've got the pluses. So it's gonna be, but I've got other more important stuff that's got to take place, unfortunately.
Real life comes first.
Sad but true. Speaking of real life, and sorry, we're gonna go down just a little bit here as far as depression levels for a minute, but while the show is not about anime, we are both come from the anime community, and working with Expo as long as we did, we made a lot of friends in the anime industry, and one of those friends is in a real bad way right now. Sarah Sullivan, aka Sully, she was a head licensing person. Well, not head licensing, but she did a lot of, basically, if you dealt with a con and you dealt with Funimation for several years, you dealt with Sully. Sully is in a bad way. Sully was diagnosed with breast cancer and is getting treatment, and she's a big, strong girl. We all send our wishes and well wishes for her. If you want to help with medical expenses and to get her through this, because obviously she can't work while she's going through chemo and whatnot. And you can go to it by going to www.gofundme.com/ERCN3C. And there you can make a donation or just send good wishes. But definitely, I mean, if for a lot of us, if you've liked any of the titles Funimation has put out for over the last several years, you've got Sully to thank for a lot of it.
Oh yeah, there are so many people she has touched throughout the anime convention, even just fan convention in the United States, that if you go through the number of donations, and it's actually fairly impressive, she's only asking for $10,000, which is basically to help out, help to cover the medical insurance deductible, as well as some living expenses for the time being. And I have to say, I'm looking through the donations of who's already donated, and we're talking convention runners, voice actors,
I did.
News organizations.
I don't think my name shows up on the list because I did it private, but yeah, I did as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking on here.
I don't need to scream to the world, hey, I gave money.
Yeah, exactly.
But the names on that list, there are some impressive names from the industry, from the industry and from conventions. So
it's just further proof of showing that she touched a lot of people's lives in the community. Because in only 2 days, they've already raised over $5,000, but they're not there just yet. So
so definitely, if you can, check it out. She's a great woman, fantastic friend. Do what you can.
Exactly.
Moving away from that to something a little more of the upbeat nature, I want to just say right now, I called it.
Okay.
And I did, because when we saw that leaked trailer, what did I say?
It was just to gauge interest, and they'll probably announce it shortly thereafter.
Because Go for it, Jason.
Deadpool movie is finally happening. It was greenlit, it was confirmed, and it actually has a release date sometime in 2016. So good.
Now, have they said if it's going to be CG or not?
No, they have not. The only thing that's been kind of announced is that it may be shooting for a PG-13 rating. But honestly, even with the PG-13 rating, they could do a hell of a lot with Deadpool.
I was gonna say you get away with a lot of crap with a PG-13.
Exactly.
You get away with everything but boobs, pretty much.
And all I'm saying is that this will, to me, would be the best date movie. Why? Because this is coming out February 12th, 2016.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Nice. Hey, Nikki, I know what we're doing for Valentine's Day 2016. Oh, that is awesome.
That is great.
And Ryan Reynolds is in it. So
well, he hasn't confirmed
has it formally
yet.
announced?
No, but I mean everyone kind of knows that he worked on the
He did the voice for the trailer.
The voice for the trailer.
For the test footage.
He did mocap for the test footage as well. I mean, we all know he's a big fan, and he's been pushing for this movie for years. So
hang on 1 second.
No worries. I just look at this movie as it has so much potential, but the problem being is that we've all, in one form or another, have at least read the Deadpool comics.
And then we've watched the game, or we've played the game.
Yeah.
I need to finish the game.
You haven't finished the game yet?
Like you should talk, Mr. Man.
Hey, I finished the game.
Did you really?
I did.
Okay, I'm 3/4 of the way through it. And unfortunately, I've had to reformat my computer twice in the last couple of weeks. So it's stable now, but I ended up swapping a hard drive. Yeah, so I have to reinstall it. I have to reinstall Deadpool and finish the game. But what I may do is I'll do another case of where I fire up Twitch one night and just run it through.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say though, in reading a bunch of articles about this, and a lot of people will try to see through the hype and see what we could possibly get out of this or what to foresee. Given its current scheduled release date, it's scheduled to come out before X-Men Apocalypse, which means if this truly stays to this, that we may see hopefully Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Apocalypse, and having them, go back and forth like they do in the comics.
That would be kind of awesome. Especially, I just want to watch, Wolverine go, shut up. And I'm go, hey, that's not fair. And
it was good news all around anyways.
Mm-hmm. And moving from that, you got there's something silly. I saw this the other day too, and I was like, really? You know how people like to hide things on models? Mm-hmm. Like if you watch any there's a real good documentary about I think it's called Make It Real. I'll have to look again. That's probably not the name of it, but it's an interview with a whole bunch of model makers through science fiction model making through movie industry, going back, to Star Wars, to Dykstra and Company, everybody. Fawn Davis is in it, a lot of people, and they talk about how a lot of times model builders will hide things in the model as a joke or as their signature.
Yep.
You'll never see it on camera, but it's there. Case in point, there's on I forget which ship it was. There's one starship they made for a movie that's got a bunch of little R2-D2s on it at various points where the turrets are. So
Oh, when J.J. Abrams did put an R2-D2 in one scene in
Star Trek,
in the Star Trek reboot.
Yeah. In the debris, there's an R2-D2 floating in space. So it happens in CG as well, but you don't usually see it on a big scale.
No, and
until today.
Yeah, this is amazing. Enjoy.
I remember when I was first watching this, I'm going, why are we changing to the Batman theme? And then I saw that, and I'm going, oh, crap.
And then you see the Tumblr.
It was pretty funny, actually. It was, props to whoever did that. That's kind of awesome. You'll never see it on camera.
But the thing is, I give I give J.J. Abrams props for shooting a lot of physical effects for Star
Oh
Wars
yeah,
Episode
oh yeah.
7.
Well, he's as big a geek as we are. I mean,
Exactly.
that's one of the things I love about Abrams is, people stress out about him and people are all freaking out. The purists and the throat beards are like, oh, he's gonna fuck up this like he fucked up Star Trek. No, he's not.
But it's like you look at it, he's shooting on actual film. He brought back John Williams. He's doing physical effects and puppets for aliens in the
Wherever
background.
possible, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's ticking the marks on the board
And
about
to
this.
make sure he does it right, he like during the time that Ford was injured, all that stuff, he waited. He didn't try and push through.
I mean, easily they could have done something what they did for Iron Man 3 is that early on in production, RDJ actually broke his leg. And so a majority of the scenes in the movie were actually a stunt double, and they just digitally put his face on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad they didn't go that route.
Yeah, me too.
Very good times. The more and more I see all these little tidbits and whatnot, the more and more I just want to see this damn movie already.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I will be, I won't be camping out overnight because I'm too old for that crap. But I will definitely be there within the first weekend to go see it. With or without those around me, I'm going.
we will definitely go in come hell or high water.
I will be hoping for the best.
But I will have to say, though, is that I'm hoping within about 3 weeks, 3 weeks after Star Wars Episode 7 comes out, there damn well better be a riff tracks of it.
Nice transition.
You like that?
Nice transition. I was wondering where you were going with this.
I had several weeks to plan this out, you know?
Several weeks to plan a transition to a news announcement that didn't happen until earlier this week.
Exactly.
Wow, your foresight is amazing.
I just wake up in the morning, I look myself in the mirror, and I always say these random things. All right, I'm going to stop before I get any farther.
Okay.
Yes. Why am I talking about riff tracks? Because the guys behind it worked on the infamous Mystery Science Theater 3000, or MST3K for short. And it looks like you can actually watch some of the classic episodes legally on Vimeo now.
3 years worth, from what I understand.
I do have to say that they have 80 cleared episodes, and they claim they're going to have exclusive access to all future releases as well.
Of MST3K or of riff tracks?
It just says all future releases.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I know they're working on there were a lot of permissions issues that they were working on.
Right.
There's only one problem with this.
Which is?
You have to be a subscriber on Vimeo. You have to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean,
which I don't mind. I don't mind having to pay for it. You know, if it was like on Netflix or something, I'd be there. In fact, I think there are some on Netflix.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
When I first initially read this, I was like, oh, great, they're going to stream them. We can watch them for free. Yeah. Oh, crap. No.
You got to rent it for each for $3. You can.
No, it's not a bad price.
No, it's not. At all. Although I have to say, I mean, if you're going to rent them for $3, that's perfectly fine. Buying them for $10 and not so much, or purchase the entire collection for $300.
That's actually not bad. $300 for 80 movies of questionable taste and quality.
Good point.
With MST3K commentary.
Yeah.
That alone, $300 for 80 episodes, not bad.
That's true.
But I would like it in a physical form, please.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pay $300 for access. What if Vimeo goes down tomorrow?
Good point.
That's the only problem I've had with a lot of these online type services.
That's because I think if it was just going through a digital subscription service, that would clear a lot of these legal hurdles, and a lot of these questions would go away. Because if it's a digital subscription, if the service that's providing the subscription goes away, so does your subscription. You can't do anything about it. But if you so-called own this, and then Vimeo, dies tomorrow, are they legally obligated to send you a file of it or a Blu-ray of it, or
not at all?
Yeah.
And if you own it, you should have the right to download it.
Exactly.
Are they going to give you the option to do that? Last I heard, Vimeo doesn't do that. I may be wrong.
Right.
But the fact that it's available is awesome.
Yep. I mean, there's going to be a ton of the old era episodes that will probably never see the legal light of day just due to licensing issues and whatnot. However, That's never stopped the internet before. Just go to YouTube and do a search.
Speaking of which, people out there, you too, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I cut the. Oh, did I do this while we were on hiatus or not? I cut the cord.
On?
We no longer have TV.
Really?
I am internet only because I got tired of Time Warner's crap.
You were talking about that. I didn't know you actually went through with that already.
Oh yeah, we went through with it right about the time I was talking about it, and we've had the cord cut for about a month now. Don't really miss it much, except Joan Rivers died. Joan Rangers everywhere are saddened.
Right.
As am I. They did last Friday. They did All Joan All Day tribute tour.
Okay.
Couldn't watch it. Stuff like that. News, I can get that online. TV shows, 99% of them. Okay, I have to wait 12 hours before I can watch.
Oh no.
Tonight with Jimmy Fallon. Oh no.
Yeah.
But what has sucked is I can't find a legitimate online source for the new Doctor Who episodes. They're not on Hulu. The rumor was that Hulu was going to be getting them. Hulu stops it at the Hulu's collection, even for Hulu Plus, which I am a subscriber, stops at Matt Smith's last episode. So I have not seen any of the Capaldi episodes.
BBC America is not streaming them online?
No. They're just showing highlights and teasers.
Ouch.
So if any of y'all know a legitimate way for me to watch this, drop us a line. Let me know.
Go internet.
Yeah.
Go find this information.
I need to see some Capaldi.
I do have to say though, we'll get to what we're watching.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you hear about the tragedy of that is threatening to befall Downton Abbey? You didn't hear about this? Kim Kardashian. Yes, Kim Kardashian has made noises that she wants. You looking for somewhere to throw up?
No, hang on.
You gonna slit your wrists?
No.
Oh, you bastard.
Okay, now I can handle this. Go ahead.
She has made noises and has apparently reached out to one of the production staff to try and get a guest spot on Downton Abbey.
Nope, I'm going to need to drink more to actually understand that.
Ignore the fact that for the time period they're portraying, she is of the wrong ethnicity to have even been anywhere near the region they are portraying.
Oh.
And although the thing that announced it was pretty, I laughed my butt off when I heard about it. But in some of the comments, people were pointing out things like, back around the time frame that Downton Abbey is portrayed, there may actually be precedent for someone like Miss Kardashian to have been there because the man who is considered the father of plastic surgery invented it about that time frame.
But see, if they were going to bring something like that, try to use that as an angle, I would have turned around and said, if she was still alive, I wish she was still alive, Joan Rivers should have played that role.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, you want a poster child for surgery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Poster child for plastic surgery, Joan Rivers. But she was proud of it.
Yeah, she was.
I genuinely am sad she died because she was an awesome comedian.
Okay,
which one did you say we're dropping?
No, we did. I found the video. We don't have to drop anything.
Oh, okay.
Although I do have to say, with you now not watching TV, well, at least not live TV.
I still watch anime.
Good man.
I'm 2 episodes behind on SAO.
Good man. Do you get to game anymore or no?
What do you mean, do I get to game anymore?
Well, I'm guessing you have all this extra free time that's not being used.
Thing is, I didn't really watch a lot of TV as it was. Because I am in game a lot, but I had to make time to watch anime. There were a couple shows. I think on an average week, broadcast television, I watched maybe 3 hours.
Okay.
And that it's a busy week for me on TV.
Okay.
I mean, and Nikki would, Nikki only had it on for background noise while knitting.
Mm-hmm.
She'd turn on like Discovery or one of the science channels or Travel Channel and just let it go. So
You couldn't hold it back anymore.
I just
let
don't
it go.
need it. Just let it go. Yeah, smart ass. I had a feeling you'd go there.
I was wondering if you were going to
I
catch
wondered if
that.
you were going to go there. So yes, welcome to Straight Line Theater, starring Michael and Jason. Take 2. But anyway.
But I know because you recently updated your graphics card in your system, right?
Well, yeah, I got. Thanks for the nice segue. I was about to get there too. Yes, I did. I got an NVIDIA GTX 660, which I with 3 gigs, which I realize is a couple-year-old card, but you know what? It kicks ass. I could run Final Fantasy XIV on it with all the bells and whistles at 1920 by 1200 over 30 frames a second.
Very nice.
That's pretty badass. But NVIDIA, those crafty bastards, never stop innovating.
Nope.
Tell us about the new card, Jason.
I want this card. And given the fact that I think after several years of cracking under the whip, I think this rig's starting to give way. So I may have to... Hey, you.
Sorry, I couldn't say. I can't believe you said that with a straight face.
Phrasing, I know.
I can't believe you said that with a straight face. Go on.
Yeah. Well, I think I need to get a new video card in, probably early next year. And I'm kind of looking at this new card that was announced, I think just like a week ago by NVIDIA. It is the GTX 980. And the reason why I'm looking at this one is because, one, I can't afford their GTX Titan Z, which is absolutely gorgeous and an incredible beast of a graphics card, but it's also $3,000 for the card.
Mm-hmm.
This one starts at a way more reasonable, about $500, $550. It's a little less in terms of temperature resist hardware that you would expect in like the 780 line that's out there right now. But the thing is, though, it still is a beast in its own right. But the reason why everyone is saying this is probably like the next gen of what you want to get is actually because of the power consumption. Most of their video cards in like the 700 series and higher will grab like 250 watts or more. I mean,
just for the card.
Just for the card itself. And if you want to do SLI, I mean, you at that point you're going to have to get at least 1,000-watt PSU and just look at your electricity bill afterwards. For this one, though, it can provide close to those same, graphic qualities you get from like the 780 and higher, but this thing only sips electricity at 165 watts. That is very
that comparatively is significant.
Now, even with that drop in power consumption, this thing can still push out 4K 60 frames a second. Although NVIDIA is claiming, we're going to recommend you buy 2 of them in SLI. But other reviewers have already said, screw you, I can do it with just 1 card.
How many CUDA cores are on this puppy?
This thing has... Just where is it at? It didn't tell me. I totally forgot where it's at. I'll look it up in a moment for that.
No worries.
I do have to say, though, that they did overclock the processor they have in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's about 700, 800 megahertz. This thing's cranked up to 1,126 megahertz.
Wow, 1,200 megahertz.
4 gigs of GDDR5. I mean, this thing is a beast in its own right.
Wait a minute. That's a gigahertz then.
Yeah. I look at this and I'm like, they're using... Okay, here's my main problem with this, is that while this thing is a beast and it sips electricity compared to its brethren, I do have to say, though, they're trying to repackage, older technology, and trying to say it's their own tech, and it's really not. They're doing this whole DSR thing, dynamic super resolution. So, for example, here's a shot of a blade of grass in a game at 1080p. You can notice that it's very pixelated and whatnot. But if you add the DSR program, it is a little more defined, and you can see the... a little more detail into it. Here's the thing, though.
It's anti-aliasing.
Not even. This is actually... I look at this. This has to be super sampling.
Yeah.
Which
super sampling or a combination of super sampling and anti-aliasing.
Yeah, most likely. If you guys are not aware what super sampling is, it's essentially taking your video game, cranking the resolution all the way up to 4K, and then having the GPU scale it back down to the resolution of your display to try to fit more pixels in there.
Well, to fit more pixels and fit more detail specifically.
Right. So I don't know why they're turning around and saying, "Oh, this is brand new technology." This has been around for at least a decade.
Well, not the 4K portion.
No, not the 4K portion, but I mean,
yeah, the super sampling's been around for a while. Anti-aliasing has been around longer than super sampling. So it's wow. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I'm looking at this one. Although the really nice toy that I always want and will probably not get for several more years to come is an Oculus Rift. I want this
You
feature
have been
VR.
storing up your transitions, haven't you?
Like I said, you give us a month, almost a month and a half off. I'm gonna have all these built up. So then next week I'll be like, and I've already, yeah, I was
Next week is going to be switching back and forth between us.
like,
Yeah, I gotcha. So what's up with the Oculus Rift other than the, that we all want one?
They actually had their own conference, their own developer conference.
Really?
Yeah, they call it the Oculus Connect conference, and they showcased their latest prototype, nicknamed Crescent Bay. This thing has built-in audio for a change, so you can do 3D audio built into the rig itself. No longer is it relying on the ski mask elastic band, but it actually has a much more fitting band. It is a lot lighter, much higher resolution screen. It actually can now, when connected with the webcam, because it has those tracking dots on it.
I was going to say, what's with the tracking dots?
It can now track you in a 1.5 meter cubed space.
Sweet.
So if you wanted to, physically, lean to the side or duck down and get on your knees and whatnot, it will actually track you. If you want to spin around, it actually has sensor be able to track it behind you or on your back of the head.
So like you're talking about for gaming situations, if you want to sit in your chair and you actually want to look around, it will look around beyond without just motion sensor.
Exactly.
Which gives you much more accuracy.
Mm-hmm. They're now actually tied in with the Unity engine. They're now an official platform. Nice. Which, for any developer out there that was developing for any Sony product, the PlayStation 3 and 4, you now get access to Unity's engine for free. Yeah, that was a huge deal. That was usually like $1,000 to $1,500 a month.
But there's also another little tidbit to that. Isn't Sony working on their own VR headset?
We've talked about it, yeah. So here's the thing, though. I'm looking at all of this. I'm looking at the sweetness that is the Oculus Rift. I'm looking at Sony's VR. We know Samsung's working on a VR headset that works with their Galaxy phones. Here's my thing, though. As long as it looks
better than Google Glass.
Yeah. I do have to say, though, I wonder, is it finally time for VR? Because we've gone down this road before, and it became, it went by the wayside. It was considered a fad.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but it was also, keep in mind, your polygons were really high. Not by really high, I don't mean the number of polygons. I mean just because the resolution of polygons was so low. It's a better statement. Everything was kludgy and blocky, and it was kind of crappy. And then we had that followed up with the Nintendo Virtual Boy, which, while kind of cool in a lot of ways for a vector engine, that was pretty impressive. But it was giving people migraines left, right, and center.
I would give you migraines after 20 minutes.
Never gave me one.
Really?
I could actually use it and play it, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, it's. So maybe it's coming. I mean, yeah, okay, it's stuff that we've technically seen before conceptually, but not to this level of quality.
Yeah.
And if we can get the price down to reasonable, I'll sign up. I'll do it.
If they can finally release a consumer product, I mean, I still find it funny that they have the unprecedented
$300 buy-in
history of, hey, look, we made a crap load of money on Kickstarter, and then we were bought for a ridiculous amount of money before we even relaunched an official product.
Well, you know.
So I mean, hopefully with that
Acquisition's the way to go these days.
That is true. I mean, we also know Amazon's doing the acquisitions in gaming, so it's gonna be interesting. All I hope is that with that massive financial backing from Facebook, that we can get a consumer level product available to the masses that works as near to flawless as possible under
outside of Facebook.
Outside of there we go. Let's put that little piece in there. Outside of Facebook, under $300, preferably 200, 250.
If they went to the 200, 250 range, because people are going to hack it and crack it.
Oh, they already have been doing that.
What's the new res on it?
They won't say. That's the thing, though.
Because it was kicking out 1080.
It was, and the whole rumor was that it was going to use the
Retina,
the 4K screen that was going to be in the Galaxy Note 4. But they're not saying.
So they're using Samsung. Okay.
They're saying. Well, they said it's not that screen, but it's definitely a higher
level.
Yeah, it's that level. The only complaint I've read so far in a lot of people's review who actually went to this conference is that, as impressive as it is, because it's still not peripheral vision included, it's still a little bit of tunnel vision.
Well, yeah, and you're gonna have a little bit of tunnel vision. That can, until they knock out that whole peripheral wrap screen thing, you're gonna have that.
Because once we do that, then we might as well start working on the Nerve gear and create Sword Art Online.
It's not that far away, my friend. Not that far away. The thing is, when those comes out, if they get that down to the $200, $250 price range, and people are going to hack it, we know people who will actively hack it, not just us, I'll buy one. At that price, I would find a way to buy one.
Considering that this one ties in with your PC and it will play a majority of PC games that include some sort of 3D feature like that, I don't mind
the idea of raiding WoW in 3D. Sounds kind of fun.
That actually sounds pretty cool. Although I will say,
for you that'd be kind of difficult though, because if you went first person mode with that thing on and you run a monk, you do your spinny kick. Oh look, Jason's puking all over his computer again.
Jason disconnected. Called me on my cell phone. Oh God.
I regret nothing, work.
But I just have to say though that a lot of people are focused on the Oculus Rift because it ties in with PC games. Sony's is going to be pushing that Project Morpheus VR headset for the PlayStation 4 when it eventually comes out, but I can't see that pushing nearly as many units as the Oculus Rift.
Depending on how they build the Sony piece, people are going to hack it too. I mean, look what they did with the Kinect. Now, admittedly, the Kinect was a Microsoft product, but it's all USB interfaced.
True, and many people have hacked the Kinect and Kinect 2 sensors to utilize it in a lot of very ingenious ways, especially
live action real-time mocap for 3D model making. That's a big one.
Working with drones in unison. I mean, you do real-time mapping. You can have a drone throw it out into a field or a building, and it'll real-time map everything for you and be able to guide itself. I mean, now imagine taking that technology and tying that in with an Oculus Rift so the user that's controlling that drone can look around in real time in another place.
Oh, yeah, it's not that far. Give it a couple of years, it'll be there.
Now, granted, there are the opposite side effect of using VR goggles, as Sega Fan has graciously posted in the chat, is that you get the otaku involved with this, and all they can think of is how they can molest their favorite avatar.
I was going to say, hello, Nitro Plus, we're looking at you.
I can easily see a Super Sonico game for this, and yeah.
Or custom-made 3D, or Virtual Academy, or Artificial Academy, rather.
So far, I've seen an app for people sleeping with Miku in bed with an Oculus Rift. One was taking her out on a date. One was
I
broke Michael.
Did Yang sign up for it right away?
Maybe. Because they've also someone created an add-on to the device to emulate kissing Miku.
Oh God!
You get within a certain
has somebody
proximity.
wired in the Onacon yet?
Yes, actually. The latest one that I've seen is someone decided, you know what? You know those mouse pads that they like so much? The Opie mouse pads? They decided to hook one against a wall and then create a model of that girl in a virtual space, and it's you playing with Opie.
Mouse pads.
Yeah.
Little micro mouse. Oh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Gotta love the otaku.
Wow. From a technical standpoint, I'm really curious about it, just for the technical aspect. But you know what the three biggest? I mean, but you shouldn't be at all surprised by any of this, because what are the two biggest drivers of technology?
Well, sex, the porn industry.
Right, I say military and porn are the two biggest drivers of technology. The reason VHS won over a utterly superior format of beta was because the porn industry went with VHS.
Exactly. It'll happen again with this tech.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to start seeing programs coming from Vivid Entertainment.
I was wondering.
Nitro Plus, Vivid.
I was surprised to not see many. I mean, there were a few, but there weren't as many as I was expecting. VR apps being demoed at the Tokyo Game Show this past week.
Well, because nothing's fully ready for release, and again, nice transition.
Thank you.
It's there's not a lot of them ready for public release yet.
No, there's not.
But what did they finally release there? I know that they re-released Final Fantasy 13 Versus 2. I mean Final Fantasy 15.
Funny you mentioned that. They also Sony did announce, or Squeenix announced, that Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns will be coming to PC on Steam.
Seriously?
You can 13 will be coming out in October. You can pre-order right now for about, I think, $14 on Steam.
I may actually play it on Steam because I could not make it through it on my other thing.
Well, we're going with that, so they made that announcement. They finally gave us more information about Final Fantasy 15. It seems that actually
Final Fantasy 13 Versus 2.
Yeah.
That's what 15 really is.
That's what it really was.
It's like, we can't be bothered to create another one. We got this other game in production, then we're just going to put it off a couple years and go from there.
Exactly.
Well, we revamped 14, which needed it, and they did a great job on the revamp of 14, I have to admit.
They really did. But they finally announced more information. They announced that for an upcoming, I think it was for Type 0 HD, I forget which Final Fantasy that one was. When that's coming out, I think later on this year, that will include a demo for Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, finally!
Yes. And to give a better taste of what to expect, let's not look at pre-rendered graphics. Let's look at supposedly in-game footage.
Holy crap, 1439. Yes, it's been a long time coming. Since Final Fantasy 13. Although, because everybody wants to dodge monsters, I can't wait to join everybody in dodging monsters with my convertible Jag.
Yeah, isn't that what all the cool kids are doing? And
that's what all the cool kids are doing.
And by the way, you have to go around with all your friends that look like you're in a boy band.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, you got the guy who's trying to take off his shirt all the time. You got the jokester. You got the strong, silent leader.
The brainy dude. You got the brainy. I mean, I look at that. Honestly, what that looks like is an updated version of the Buckaroo Banzai crew. The guy on the right, immediately behind the leader, that's Jeff Goldblum.
But what you'll like though about this demo is that the title for this demo is Final Fantasy 15 Episode Deska. Which basically turns to, is this a Final Fantasy episode?
Wow.
I mean, they're not being subtle at all.
Not at all. Well, at least they're not hiding the fact. I mean, they're not coming out and saying formerly 13-2 Versus.
Yeah.
But they are I mean, they're taking the time to upres it a lot. And if those were, God, I swear to God, I know how to speak English. If those were real-time generated in-engine graphics on a PS4, that might be enough to make me buy one.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I want to shell out $400 or $500. It's Costco's got them right now. PS4 with one game and a second controller, $498. That's Costco prices.
Yeah.
They got an X-Bone for similar pricing.
It's like, which way do you want to go with that?
No questions asked. PS4 all the way. Sony, Microsoft's losing money on the X-Bone. So no, I'm totally going PS4 when I get around to it.
No, I agree with you on that.
And now that I've cut the cord, I have an open HDMI port on my monitor.
Bing, there you go. There was another trailer that I wanted to showcase real quick. I know you're looking forward to it.
Hell yeah!
We have a new trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5. The quality it's okay because it was off their live stream. They haven't released an official trailer online yet, but you still get the point across, and it's still definitely a bit of a blast to watch.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy.
Okay, so they gave her more clothes, but not much.
No.
And they had to throw in the jiggle physics, which are a little exaggerated.
And of course, she had to decloak or whatever that was in that pose.
Oh, well, that's just
cool. That's just fan service.
That's just being cool. Decloaking in that pose, that was just cool. Factor.
I mean, I do have to say, though, I think HPL in the chat does make a pretty good argument. Clothing creates drag and hinders efficiency, whereas little is possible when going to battle, because if all else fails, it does distract your opponents.
No, there's validity to that argument. There is validity to that argument, and I'm just going to say that. But what I wish they would do, since that was also in-game engine. And did you notice the stitches and the Frankenstein appearance on Snake?
Yeah, like what was that going on like right here?
What the hell's going? Well, that, and if you look close, the level of scarring they built into it. I mean, the detail on the models is impressive as hell. I'm just. If that and Final Fantasy 15 come out at the same time, game over. I'm buying the damn system. Because there was nothing out the gate that would make me buy it. I have zero interest in Far Cry 4 on a console. I'll play it on a PC, but I won't play it on a console because you know me, I hate FPSs on a console, except for Halo. But Halo's the only one for me that works that way. But although, have you seen Destiny yet?
I have seen Destiny.
How are you liking it?
I'm watching other people play it because I can't buy it right now for myself. And
you have an Xbone, don't you?
No, I only have an Xbox 360 and a PS3.
Well, you had a bone for some reason.
No, well.
Now,
I know. No,
good night, folks.
No, I haven't picked either one up. Although I do have to say though, it's weird that there are games for the Xbox One, there are games for the PS4 that I both really, really want, and I'll get in the future, but it's getting more and more of a sure thing that once I've paid off some debts and I make sure that I can actually afford it, the first so-called next-gen console that I will buy will actually be a Wii U. There are a lot of games out for it that
you want?
That I really want. And there are a lot of games that provide a lot of fun gameplay. It doesn't need to be the best graphics out there. The interactivity that the Wii U provides is something I definitely enjoy.
For me, I don't go for a lot of the bubblegum poppy games. I like your intense storylines, like your Metal Gear storylines.
Right.
I loved the hell out of MGS4. That game was the pinnacle in my mind of the Kojima games. I like most Final Fantasies. That's more what I'm into when it comes to a game. I loved the Batman Arkham series. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City.
I've played the first two, love them to death.
I haven't played Origins or Night yet. Those are the type of games I'm into. What I would love to see happen is, which is where I was originally starting to go with this little minor rant, was I want to see them release those on PC. From what I heard, the first two have. The first two I have.
Mm-hmm.
But are they on Steam, I wonder? I'll have to look.
Yes.
They're on Steam. Ooh, I should look into that. I know those. But I'd like to see them release MGS5 or MGS4 even on PC, because I'll play the hell out of it.
Oh yeah,
and that'll help. That'll honestly stave me off of buying a PS4 for a little while.
Well, they did launch the PlayStation Now live streaming thing after they bought Gaikai a couple years ago.
Yeah, but
I mean that's one option. But the thing is, if you're looking at Twitch gaming, you can't have any lag whatsoever on stuff like that.
Exactly.
So,
and
puzzle
MGS,
games, RPGs,
RPGs. Praise RPGs. You too can role play your savior. Sometimes you can save the heathens, other times you can join them. Praise RPGs. Sorry.
That better be a meme somewhere on the internet before tomorrow.
Have a picture. RPGs.
God.
Oh, we're back. Did you miss us?
Oh, good times.
Anyway,
I do have to say that before we... Do you have anything to say before we wrap up? With back to our usual what we're watching?
Give me...
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. I just looked at 42.
Yeah. I have to share this.
Bring the pain.
Because Engadget, a good tech website, one of the better ones out there, sent some of their reps over to Tokyo Game Show to cover a lot of the what's up and coming, and that they did. But they also caught a bit of the bizarre, and I had to laugh my ass off when I was reading this.
Where's Morgan Webb when you need her?
Oh, God, this is amazing. So we've all talked about dating simulation games, and we probably all played at least one in our lives at one point or another, or you're probably currently playing one right now. I have no idea. Maybe you guys are playing that Hatoful Boyfriend one that I talked about a couple weeks ago, which was the dating sim with pigeons. Yeah, it was an odd one. But there's a company over in Japan called Voltage Incorporated, and to help promote their romance mobile apps for ladies, at their booth, they decided, you know what? Let's allow some of our fans to experience some of those moments from their games in real life. So what they did was actually hire a bunch of, handsome male models. You can take your pick, and for, I don't know if it was for a fee or whatnot, but girls, and I'm sure a couple guys, waited in line to actually recreate and experience one of these scenes from a game.
Oh my God.
Now, there is a video online, and you guys can go ahead and watch that one, and it's absolutely hilarious. Even if you don't know Japanese, just the sheer look on the people's faces and how serious the male models get into these scenes. It is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, Japan, I miss you so. Oh man, we've got to go back to Japan, Jason. Look at all the stuff we're missing.
We
need to make the show big enough that we can go to Japan and cover TGS.
Hey, I would cover one of these things. I would experience one of these things for you.
I would go. I'd help take that bullet.
Just to look at the expression on the guy's face.
No, I did have the guy walk up and go, oh, Gogeta.
Oh man. Good times. Japan.
By the way, on backtracking just a hair, the Final Fantasy 13 being available on Steam, currently on sale for $14.39. That's only a 10% markdown. The final, once it's released price, $16. I'll wait.
All right. Or I can just bring it over. I have it on PS3.
I have it on PS3.
Yeah, okay, good point.
I just haven't finished it. But if I'm sitting here, you know how much time I spend bored doing things. I should be doing something else. I hope none of my coworkers are watching this.
All right. What's up? What did you find?
Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero is on Steam.
There you go. You have to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, as we wrap up our show, as always, Michael, what have you been watching this past month?
Oh, what have I been watching the past month? I got caught up. I'm still, like I said, I'm a couple episodes behind in SAO. I'm really liking it a lot. I still want to smack Shion's real life character, but her in-game character I'm digging. What else have I been watching? Like I said, I cut the cord, so I've been watching a lot. I've been doing a lot of gaming. I've been doing a lot of other stuff. But for those of you who missed last year or last season, The Blacklist, the entire first season is on Netflix right now. And it's still on Hulu. Go watch it. The new season of Blacklist, I think, starts either this week or next. You need to get caught up. You need to watch this show.
I know, I need to.
That's all I have to say about that. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What's up?
I've also been working conventions because C4 was last weekend. C4 being the Central Coast Comic Con in Ventura.
You want to give an update on that now, or do you want to wait till next week?
Yeah, it's skeezy. No, I'm not kidding. The guy who runs it, I don't like, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
It's a personal axe to grind. The cosplayer, there's something I've been noticing a lot, and Nikki's noticed it especially because she is in a cosplay so heavily, and it's been brought to my attention as well. The show itself wasn't so bad, except for the air conditioning not working, which they tried to blame on a power outage a couple days previous, that damaging the AC units. Although the fact that the idea of it damaging the AC units site-wide, a little skeptical. But there was a lot of cosplay there. The problem was most of the cosplay was for lack of a better term, porn star style cosplay. You know, the slutty Pikachu types. You know, there was a group of Sailor Scouts that were in, you could barely call them skirts. And the tops were like halter tops. They look like cheerleaders more than Sailor Scouts.
It could possibly be they were actually wearing. There's actually an official lingerie line that's Sailor Moon themed that's actually out.
Okay, fine. But that's not. But if you're playing a Sailor Scout, you don't go wearing the Sailor Moon lingerie. You wear the actual outfit. As a guy, look. Okay, I appreciate revealing clothing as much as the next red-blooded male, female, whatever. I can appreciate that aspect, and I can look at him and go, yeah, that's kind of a hot body. But looking at it from a cosplay standpoint, it's gone too far. I mean, doing a costume because you love what it is you're cosplaying, and I'm not just talking people like Nikki, people like Nick Niedenbach do it. They do it because they love the characters and they want to do the creativity of it. Then you get a lot of these people, a large number of them from Chatsworth who do or do not work in the adult film industry, are showing up doing this stuff. Well, there was a lot of that at C4. Also, I have made an official determination that Adrian Paul is actually Dorian Gray.
How so?
Oh, well, you're familiar with the concept of the portrait of Dorian Gray, right?
Yes.
Adrian Paul, the main stars that were at C4 were Adrian Paul, Kevin Sorbo, and Lorenzo Lamas. Now, I loved Renegade. I liked Renegade. No, that was basically like But Lorenzo Lamas has been rode hard and put away wet too many times. Don't kill me, Renegade. Don't kill me. But he's looking kind of beat up and old. It's also where a lot of old, TV actors go to die, because like Boomer was there. Boomer's showing up everywhere.
Really?
The original Boomer from the original Battlestar Galactica. Sorbo was there. He was kind of cool. Adrian Paul hasn't changed in 20 years. He has not changed a bit since he started doing Highlander, except he cut his hair. That's it. The man does not age. I swear to God, he is the living example of Dorian Gray.
Okay, so just basically every time he shows up for a convention, look in that city's paper for missing children reports.
Missing children,
So
or
you can-
check his luggage for a painting. I mean, it's... Oh my God. The man does not age.
Some people have those genes, and
He's got those genes.
Yeah.
Boy, does he have those genes. The show itself was kind of mellow. It's a second-year event. It had decent attendance for a second-year event.
Okay.
So that's why I haven't been watching stuff, because I've been doing shit like that.
Gotcha.
The first weekend I was gone, I was working in audio for a show. So that was interesting. That was an adventure. I'll tell you about that one later.
All right.
It was an elaborate hazing ritual. I'm still convinced.
You'll have to tell me. Yeah, definitely later. What was it? Oh, I did find actually where you can legally watch season 8 of Doctor Who.
Do tell.
Unfortunately, you'll have to pay for it.
How much? And to who?
It's on Amazon.
Oh, really?
And
Amazon's
they-
releasing the new
And
episodes?
they start at $2 an episode. Now, granted, that's SD. If you want to watch HD, it's about $5-6 an app.
Or go Prime and watch it for free.
Well, I think this is under their instant video section, so I think you're gonna have to.
Well, Amazon Prime gets free instant video.
Oh, that's right. Well, there you go then. Go ahead and
I may
stream
have
off
to get
Amazon.
myself some Prime. That just sounds so wrong. Okay, what have you been watching, Jay?
Get so much anime, It's ridiculous. There's a lot of series that just recently ended. If ones that you should probably see if you can catch up on. Aldnoah Zero is amazing. The Irregular at Magic High School is well worth getting through the slow beginning, like the first 7 episodes. It's kind of like how you got me on
Move Love?
Total
Eclipse?
Total Eclipse. That's what I get from this one, because now it's just completely badass.
Okay.
Akame Got Kill, I think you really enjoy. It's just about a League of Assassins and how this guy finds his way to be part of it, and all the different misadventures he has.
So it's a comedy, or is it
comedy with a lot of action?
Okay.
Well worth it. There are a couple other things. I'm really surprised I'm still enjoying Rail Wars.
Is it still going well? Because I only made it to the first 3 episodes. I have to catch up.
They're on episode 12 now.
Excellent. And it's still good?
I'm still watching it, yeah.
Cool.
So it's still worth it. Yeah, there's a few other things here and there, but those are probably my top picks right now. Other than that, just haven't really watched too much lately. I've just been catching up on the F1 races and just working on.
I forgot
some
you were
other
in
ideas.
F1.
Yep.
And that season had started. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, we're I think about 14 races into the season already. So
Okay.
good times. But that's pretty much it for me. It's just been. I would love to be able to sit down and play games, but life has been, let's say, very stressful to the point where I really don't want to sit down in front of my computer for an extended amount of time.
But you're recovering. And
I
that's
am
the important
recovering.
part.
It is
Surgery went well.
Surgery went well. I'm on course for a full, recovery, probably in about another 3 weeks. Good times.
Very good.
Once it's good. Yeah, that's it for me. You have anything else to add before we wrap this episode up, Michael?
Nope. I'm good.
All right. Well, I think that was an enjoyable 100th episode.
It was, and
Yeah.
we haven't ruminated along the past yet, and that's okay. We'll do a proper retro episode at some point, I'm sure.
Eventually. Trust me, there's a reason why I record every single pre and post show. Because the things Michael has done in the past has been
Oh, see, it's
hilarious.
notice you guys, it's all about the shit I've done. None of the crap Jason's done.
Because
all
everything
the crap
that I do
Michael's done.
Because everything I do is usually during the show. I've thoroughly embarrassed myself more than a handful of times on this show over the
Hey,
past
Michael,
couple of years.
remember all that stupid shit you did at the end of episode 35? No? Here, let me show you.
Michael, this is your past 2 years.
No shit. This is your life on FMMB.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the past 100 episodes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Stay tuned for post-show. And
it will be short, unfortunately, but it always is.
It always is. All right, thank you guys so much for watching From My Mother's Basement. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
We will see you guys next week. Take it
for
easy,
reals,
everybody.
we will.
We will be. Trust me. Yes. Later, everybody.